Diverse solutions are required when it comes to sealing and insulation. Intelligent, user-friendly, and economical sealing systems for flat roofs and constructions are at our core competence. And not without reason. As a subsidiary of Soprema Group, we can look back on more than 100 years of experience in developing and producing sealing systems. Watch our webinar and take advantage of our know-how. Before getting started in this area, we first need to familiarize ourselves with the ways of handling the materials safely. Liquid plastics are chemical products and there is a safety data sheet for each product. The safety data sheet describes the potential dangers associated with the product and the related safety measures. Here are the most important GHS symbols. Caution: hazardous, may irritate skin, trigger allergies or eczema, cause drowsiness, may result in poisoning after contact. Highly flammable, may be ignited through contact with flames and sparks, impact, friction, heating, or contact with air and water. If stored incorrectly, it may spontaneously combust without any external interference. Harmful to health, may damage certain organs, may have an immediate, long-lasting, and significantly detrimental impact on health, may be carcinogenic, may damage genetic material, fertility, or development. Can be fatal if it enters the airways. Benzoyl peroxide is generally used as a hardener for methacrylate resins. It is also considered to be the most dangerous component in the entire PMMA system. For safety reasons it is, for example, phlegmatized with dicyclohexyl phthalate and is used in powder form during processing. The additional quantity varies by 1.5 to 6% according to the temperature. The hardener power is classified as oxidizing, an irritant, and partially as damaging to the environment. The applicable regulations for organic peroxides are to be followed during transport and storage. The hardener component must always be stored separately from the resins. Safety goggles must be worn as splashes are to be expected when processing and mixing. Tightly fitting safety goggles are recommended. Spectacle wearers must also wear appropriate eye protection. Liquid plastics are reactive chemicals. The substances they contain may trigger allergies, so direct contact with the skin must be avoided. Vinyl and latex gloves are not suitable for processing liquid plastics. Butyl rubber and nitrile gloves offer good protection against solvent-free and many low-solvent resins and hardeners. It is also recommended to wear cotton gloves underneath as they improve the wearing comfort. For solvent-based systems, the glove material must be selected in line with the solvent used. Detailed information on glove materials can be found in the safety data sheets. Leather gloves and uncoated textile gloves do not offer protection against chemicals. Dirty protective gloves and used disposable masks no longer provide any protection, so the employer must have sufficient quantities of these items available. The same applies to scratched safety goggles that are no longer worn by the employees in this condition. When working with liquid plastics outdoors, the maximum allowable concentration is generally not exceeded. As a matter of principle, there should be an adequate air exchange when working in indoor areas. To ensure full hardening of the methacrylate resin, 7 air changes per hour relative to the volume are recommended over the surface to be coated. Furthermore, safety measures such as respiratory protective devices always depend on the on-site conditions such as the size of the rooms and material turnover per hour, and must be determined in individual cases. When removing the extracted air, any negative impact on third parties, for example through a subjective sense of smell, must be minimized. It is advisable to inform the residents before starting to work. As the vapors are heavier than air, they may accumulate in lower floors or sink down. Protective measures are also necessary when preparing the ground. Grinding and hammering release dust into the air that may be inhaled. When working without extraction, the maximum allowable concentrations are always exceeded, sometimes by more than 100 times. Working for many years under the effects of dust can cause damage to the airways and lungs. Quartziferous particles in the dust can bring about dust disease, so-called silicosis, which can lead to lung cancer in individual cases. Reduce the dust pollution on the construction site by extracting dust where it arises. If this still doesn't sufficiently prevent dust formation, employees must protect themselves with suitable dust masks. Working with dust requires the highest security level to guarantee ideal health protection. If dust is not extracted, it hampers work, impairs quality, and can cause lasting damage. This is only guaranteed with appropriate extraction systems. Nowadays, construction vacuum cleaners are divided into 3 performance classes. The first letter tells you what a dust class represents. Dust class L describes lightly dangerous dusts such as household dust. Dust class M stands for moderately dangerous dusts. These include wood dust, cement, concrete, and also quartziferous materials such as sand and gravel. Highly dangerous dusts belong to dust class H. These are carcinogenic and pathogenic dusts such as mold spores, asbestos, mineral fibers, bitumen, and artificial mineral fibers. Class M vacuum cleaners are generally sufficient for use with grinding or hammering machines.